Hey, what's good, YouTube? It is your boy Fourth and Goal. We are back again with another video, and man, crazy games in week 4. One of the teams we got to talk about, as you can see by the title and the thumbnail, it is the Chicago Bears. Man, their future is a bit scary, but at the same time a bit exciting. So let's get straight into the video, man. But before that, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. You know, we're at 115, 116. Big shout out to everybody, man, who've been subscribing, been liking my videos. I love all you guys, each and every one of you. Let's get the video to like 5 likes. You know, I don't think that's too hard, about 5 likes. And if you like the video, you know, comment down your favorite part. Okay, so the Chicago Bears, 0-4. They probably will get the first overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. They had a complete meltdown versus the Denver Broncos yesterday. They were up like 28-7, and even throughout the first 3 games, Justin Fields, you know, he was playing alright or borderline bad if you ask some people. And really, the Chicago Bears, man, you know, they have just, you know, have not been looking too good all season. But there was a bright spot yesterday because, again, they were up 28-7. Justin Fields finally showed up and balled out, and they end up losing 31-28 at home, by the way, at home, which makes it even worse. So they are 0-4. You know, obviously they can make some moves, make this roster a lot better, or what they can do is actually tank for the rest of the season. Because another team, which they own 2 first-round picks, I totally forgot about that. If you guys remember, in a big trade, they're also 0-4 in the Carolina Panthers. If you guys remember, man, like 2 weeks before the draft started, or like even a couple months before that, I don't know. During the offseason, basically, before the draft, the Chicago Bears, they held the #1 pick, and they traded away that for DJ Moore, like the 9th overall pick, which we traded for to get Jalen Carter, and then they got the they got the Panthers 2024 first round pick. And again, the Panthers, they're 0-4 also, and basically the Chicago Bears hold 1 and 2, and it makes it really interesting because they can obviously trade away that asset and try and get, like, you know, some more pieces to make the team better. Or what they can do is just blow this whole team up, trade away Justin Fields, trade away DJ Moore to get some more assets, and just honestly just flip the team over. And so again, they can go 2 ways at looking at this. I think the way that they will take is sort of like do a semi-rebuild, right? Obviously keep Justin Fields, keep DJ Moore, and then just add some players to the draft. You know, obviously if they have the #1 and #2, that is a dream scenario because they can get the offensive tackle from Penn State, and then possibly get like Marvin Harrison Jr. or they can get Kool-Aid Ministry, or they can get a bunch of guys at the #1 and the #2 spot. But really, like, I think first off they need to address the defensive line because they only have 2 sacks in 4 games. They got 1 sack on what's his name, Russell Wilson, yesterday, but besides that, they only got 1 other sack, and that is piss poor bad. Like, they're bottom of the barrel. The Giants, they didn't have a sack like the first 2 or 3 games, and then they got a sack versus the Niners or something like that. But yeah, that defensive line, like, you can only blame so much on the secondary if you can't get to the quarterback. Like, I can't even blame Jalen Johnson, Eddie Jackson, and, you know, although, you know, some of these guys have been injured and things like that. But yeah, if you fix the D line, like, I'm a firm believer, you fix the D line, like, you're in a whole other scenario. Like, you're in a good spot basically. But sadly, you know, as I'm going through these like mock drafts and things like that, you know, there really isn't like that dominant defensive line guy in this draft class. And, you know, they can but they can trade away the first or second pick. But, you know, that is a bigger risk if you trade for a guy rather than you just draft a guy. I mean, that's just my opinion. You know, why not go on the draft? But, you know, this draft, I think it is a lot more offensive friendly, but like you got like 5 quarterbacks that can go in the first round. They don't need a quarterback if they keep Justin Fields. Yes, they can get a receiver, but you know you already got DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney. It's just the offensive line is just a bit shaky. So you can get the guy from Penn State, and then you can get the guy from Notre Dame, Joel Alt, and then the guy from Penn State, Olu Fashanu, don't know how to say his last name. However, you know, it is only like week 5 in the college football game, week 6, you know, sometimes, well, not sometimes, a lot of times during like the draft combine, that's when a lot of like narratives and a lot of like mock drafts really start to be, and like, you know, we have a clear cut of who's going number one, who's going number two. So, you know, I guess you could say it is very early. We're about 4 months away from like the draft combine, and you know, players really, you know, Mel Kiper getting his mock draft, and everybody based their mock draft off that. So it could be too early. However, you know, if they do blow it up, you know, that, you know, Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. will probably be the one and number two, or Williams and the big tackle, or just somebody, because they will also have a high second round pick, and you know, they can, depending on how the draft falls, you know, they can draft even more offense. Now, since I said that the, you know, draft is not very defensive heavy, there are a lot of really good defensive line pieces going into the free agency market next year. Now, yes, teams that, you know, that are letting these players go, they'll have the advantage of signing them because, you know, they already know the city, the system, the team culture, and all that stuff. But best case scenario, like if Chris Jones walks, and if the Bears are just wanting to throw him a bag, like he'll bring a lot of veteran experience, obviously a Super Bowl, and he's still a top 5 defensive tackle or top 5 defensive line guy in the NFL, and that will draw some attention to, you know, bring some other pieces and things like that. DJ Reader, you know, a very good defensive tackle for the Bengals. Leonard Williams for the New York Giants. Danielle Hunter, Carl Lawson, like, you know, just a plethora, or how do you say that word? Just really good guys everywhere that you can sign, you know, if you want to go that route, because yeah, again, the defensive line is just, it looks terrible. We all thought Yannick Ngakoue was going to come in there and do him, but, you know, he's making no noise. They got a couple other guys. It was a guy from the Texans. You know, I thought he was going to be good. He's not doing anything. And, hey, if they took Jalen Carter, I'm just saying, bro, you know, well, probably will have the issue still, because, you know, Jalen Carter is just one player, but still, like, if you had Jalen Carter, you know, that would be a very bright spot. But you don't. We do. So, tough news for you. So one thing I really haven't talked about too much, and it plays a really big factor, is their coaching. Now, the Chicago Bears, they did lose their defensive coordinator after like 2 or 3 games in the season. Like, bro just called it quits. He just said, yo, I'm out. I can't do this anymore. So that right there is probably just a big blow to the team morale, which I can definitely understand, because it's just like, you know, if your boss just quits and we're like 2 games in the season, like, that's definitely a team morale decrease, basically. Now, I guess the purpose of this video is to just really just give you my thoughts on what the Chicago Bears should do, or what I think they're going to do. I think there will be like a semi like teardown. Like, obviously they're still in rebuild mode, but you want to have some bright spots. But however, this is football, and rebuilding is a lot different than how like the NBA does it, because like the NBA, you can trade away your star player and get like loads of assets, whereas the NFL, you know, you trade somebody, you know, you may get like a little 2nd or 3rd round pick, but it's all about developing players and like drafting right in the draft, especially in like later rounds and things like that. But it's your boy 4th and Goal, man. I am out. Stay tuned for another video this week, and peace.